My dear friends, in the old rite we have a gliding in, a progressive countdown, so that when we come into the sacred season of Lent, we are already in the antechamber and in the right mood and mode. There is a certain sobriety already in Septuagesima. No Gloria, no Alleluia, and we wear a more sombre tone of vestment. And indeed, the liturgy contains that tone, especially actually when one maintains the whole liturgical cycle. I'm thinking of where I was formed in France, where we still had Septuagesima liturgically embedded. It's actually a whole program. One starts to sing at midnight the whole history of salvation, beginning at dot, the creation of man, and of course the crunch, the reason for the whole cycle in the first place, our fall. And in the specifically Carthusian rite, the long midnight office, sung each note, even the readings, with the very long responses between the readings, take you right through salvation history and through the nights of time and history, progressively to the glory for which all this is a preparation. It's a mode of being which in the world is difficult to imagine, because the immediate bleep is far more important. There are no bleeps. There are no screens. There are no human beings usually. It's just eyeball to eyeball and ear to heart. He has access. How difficult it is to retrieve that when many people come and go, usually without a warning. But the will of God also has its grace, and that's where God is to be found at that moment. It will be illusion not to seek Him there in the person at the door. Remember that next time you feel frustration and a bad reaction coming when somebody comes unexpectedly. For the Lord also might be there. With this in mind, one of the greatest figures of the Church in our time, Cardinal Robert Sarah, spent a while at La Grace, a fairly new foundation of the old rite. Canons regular who have precisely a lot of that. Much time and space and verticality, much incense and otherness and honour to him who is served, correctly and with nothing spared. So he drifts there willingly and is recharged. And he had this to say in a preface to a volume which has come to me now through the post. But again, Jesus is in here in the grace coming by surprise. Never push away a surprise that might be from God. You might have something to say. A time to die. Of course, it's from Ecclesiastes. And we all have a time to die. And actually, it's the leitmotif of this beginning of the sacred season. Listen to a few words which he, in calm mode, pens. Monasteries are places where one learns to live and die in an atmosphere of silent prayer. The gaze always turned toward the beyond, and the one who made us and whom we contemplate. Because from my flesh I shall see God. a word which we would chant often, by the way, at the weekly Office of the Dead. That's from Job. All those who pray consider life, the world, and death with confidence and emotion. Now let me just make a quiet break there before I carry on. It's what I was told when I was actually at La Trappe in the summer break of 1974. It was Frère François, who was the sous-maître, submaster, who would be with us with manual work, and I would sometimes get a word from him. And he told me this before I went back to my studies, because I had to finish them. He said this: well, in my case, his own case, it wasn't at all clear. I was actually shown the picture of the community when this happened. It was the whole community together on one occasion, and this young man was there in the midst, dressed actually in naval costume. He was a Navy cadet. What happened was this: he was engaged to be married to a good Christian future bride, a good relationship based on prayer. Because also he was quietly into prayer, but wasn't thinking of this at all, went to spend a few days at La Trappe, just to make a retreat. But something happened when he was there. One of the brethren died. So he was exposed full on to the power of a Trappist burial. The monk is watched as he dies, and watched after his dying. There's no coffin. He's there with a Paschal candle brightly beside him, and one can see his face. And one prays, one after the other, or two by two, beside his body until what? The tearjerker of a burial of a monk takes place. No coffin, no protection. The face of a dear brother, covered shovel by shovel with earth. Dust unto dust, ashes unto ashes, having conquered eternity! Ouch. This is something else. He was touched by divine grace, touché par la grâce. Humbly, he went to his fiancée, not girlfriend, fiancée, and said what had happened. She took a moment, looked him in the eyes and said, I cannot come between God and you. What you are asking is hard, but I cannot get in the way. And he entered and persevered. One time when I was there, one of the old lay brothers who had a very severe life also petered out. But he petered out a few weeks or months after his brother, who had not entered monastic life, but not married either. So they buried them actually close together in the monastic graveyard. And I often used to pause by dear Frère Marie's grave and see those two ways into eternity. One where every moment was consecrated with penance and prayer, and no leakage at all, for the vocal cords only vibrated in praise. And the other, just a normal Christian life, but safely home nevertheless. And I thought, here is the truth of mankind. Here is where it all stops and starts. Here is where the balance is redressed. What is glory? What is joy? Nothing. nothing compared with the glory of conquering eternity with prayer and praise and utter, undiluted love. How many would think of that this Septuagesima, this Lent? The bleak is far more important. Indeed, the football is far more important. Indeed, the career is far more important. And right now, the infant attempt at settling down in marriage is infinitely more important. Who cares? Eternity can rest on a calm back burner. It applies to little people as well. Septuagesima is about getting ready. We must be pure as wool, not a spot on our soul. White and clean, the precious blood of Jesus. And every time we blotch our soul, it's just one unnecessary month or two in purgatory. Let's get onto the fast lane and make the bypass of purgatory. The Church gives us the means. Let's take them seriously. Washed every week, every month at least, in the precious blood. Insurance policy fully paid up. Lord,